Hello and welcome to today's video. We are here for another episode of Bread Bowl. We are here for episode number 8. So, if you guys don't know why the series is now called Bread Bowl, make sure you go check out yesterday's video where we explain why it's called Bread Bowl. And also, you guys want to see why I'm wearing this hat, go check out yesterday's video. So, news today. Well, I hope you guys checked out a lot of the other interesting videos that weren't about spicy things on things throughout the week. We had K-pop albums and Nerf guns and pillows that we talked about. So I hope you guys checked those out. I didn't really want to just keep throwing more things into yesterday's video, so threw that into here. We looked at the Diva Nerf gun. There's a Diva bunny pillow. And then we also had a K-pop album, which came in. Of course, we had to review. So, pretty quick news, not really much there. But today I have written in here. Well, first let's talk about what's happening next week. Next week, currently scheduled, is the Overwatch Lego Reinhardt, which we're going to try to get to throughout the season. Not sure if we'll get to it necessarily episode number 9, but it is written in here for next Saturday. And then next Sunday, we make our Super Bowl 53 predictions. Which is pretty cool. Actually, I have all my previous predictions written in here, which you guys can't see, haha. So I was able to do that. But I got all my previous predictions and my record overall for picks that I've made since 2012, back to the Giants and Patriots Super Bowl, their second one. Everything from there to this year's is written in here, and I'll go through everything that I made and my predictions and what it's at, and then I'll tell you guys my prediction for this year's Super Bowl. So, that is that. That's our news. So, right. Future and almost ending YouTube. Well, the first thing is the future things. I mean, I think that they're kind of established what I want to do in the future. I think I've sort of talked about that in a lot of videos. I think it's kind of obvious with everything that's around, that I want to go to Korea, learn Korean, potentially move to Korea. Things like that. I think are pretty much known for future things. For work-wise, what I'm doing now, working for Drew's Honeybees, doing promotion of stuff on Instagram, going to events. That's something that I want to keep doing. I know he wants to expand the business and stuff like that. So for now, doing it part-time, I want to continue doing that. And then hopefully in this year, sometime next year, be able to work full-time for him. And just sort of go from there. But that's the things that are really in the future in my mind. Going to Korea and continuing the work that I'm doing for Drew's Honeybees and things like that. So that's sort of the future on that. There's not really much to talk about. I'm sure it's pretty much established by, again, what's been talked about in a million other videos. So we're not really going to dive into that because last week we talked about learning Korean in an episode, which I think sort of gives away the future and things that I want to do. So we're going to talk more about the time that I, last summer, was close to ending YouTube. So for me, YouTube's always changed in sort of what I've done. And I'm sure everybody's aware of that. We've talked about that every year. At the end of the year videos, and we talk about typically once throughout the year, sort of how things change from 2012 to whatever year it is. Now it's up to 2019. Sort of what things changed throughout the time. We did Beyblade stuff in 2012 and 2013. And then part of 2013 and 2014, we did a lot of stuff talking about cars. Things like that. And then that led into like half 2015. Then from 2015 to about, even partially now, video games. And then within there, we talked and focused a lot more on analysis of Overwatch League, which that's why I kept video games going in there. And we occasionally do live streams of Overwatch. But we sort of shifted from there to more commentary about Overwatch League and also looking at K-pop albums. So K-pop sort of shown up in there. And then series as we talk about stuff. So now it's just more like talking about things Overwatch League and K-pop instead of what I classify my channel as now. So, you know, we've always had that change. But back last year, once the gaming scene, I think, really got to the point where I didn't want to be part of it. Because I feel like for gaming content, last year was really when I realized I'm like, this isn't what I want to do. I would like to play video games, but I think that it got to the point where it really wasn't fun anymore to have to sit down every single day and grind out or sit down every day for like chunks at a time, hour, 2 hours, and then record content. I feel like I have to sneeze, so I'm stopping. Kind of went away. Yeah, so that's the thing, you know, sitting down, that's sort of why I got rid of the studio. Didn't really need that anymore. I didn't want that to be like there and close to being there. And then we started doing Overwatch League and K-pop videos, standing right here, over a little bit, and then sitting over at that table. Like, for me, it really didn't matter to do the videos like that, the gaming videos. And, you know, it just like, I don't know, it wasn't like a passion. It wasn't like, I really want to record this gaming video, or I want to do this live stream. I'm trying to get back into it sometime in like November and try to get in this year, in the beginning of January, but it didn't happen. There's just no way that I really think I can get back into it. And I think I attribute a lot of that to the fact that a lot of the channels are just clickbait video titles. I'm sure you guys see it all the time. Clickbait titles, clickbait thumbnails. Like, I don't want to do that. I just want to like upload a video of me playing Overwatch, or upload a video of me racing in NASCAR or Gran Turismo, me playing Madden. Like, that's what I want to upload. So I don't know, the videos got too clickbait for me, and they got so much driven on what game is popular and not what game the creators or the fans want to watch, or the creators want to play. Because I watch videos of creators and like, oh, I like playing this game, and the fans are like, this is a great video, and they never upload another one just because if they're not getting a certain amount of views, they're not getting a certain amount of likes or something, then they just stop doing it. And I don't know, it just, for me, that's not as interesting. I want to see like a series be completed because the person wants to do that series. And, you know, seeing certain channels that I like to watch, like 2014, 2015, start to just become clickbait meme fest, and then I unsubscribe. Like, I don't know, I liked watching these people, and I liked the stuff they did, but once you get to a point where you do that, like, I don't have an interest anymore. And I don't know, it's kind of like the thing, if you get too serious about, like, I can't say this, or I can't do this, then it just gets annoying as well. So, like, if that's sort of the reason why I sort of enjoy watching videos by, like, PewDiePie, even though he's super popular, and he's the most subscribed to channel, like, he's sort of changed the point from, like, doing gaming to just looking at memes or just talking about random shit, and it's funny. Like, if you can meme things, like the clickbait videos, you meme it, like he does, it's funnier than just like, oh, I'm doing clickbait to get money. Like, I don't know, that's my example on that. A lot of these channels, like, we'll take a game, for example, Fortnite. Alright, everybody knows that Fortnite is so popular, and everybody wants to watch Fortnite, so everybody's gonna play Fortnite and make Fortnite videos. But if you don't put something super clickbait, nobody's ever gonna watch it. I will admit, I made Fortnite videos when I played the game, before it got popular, before it got toxic, and nobody watched it. Partially because it was before it was popular, and also I didn't put clickbait thumbnail, clickbait titles. You gotta edit in, it's gotta say Battle Royale or Victory Royale, or whatever the hell it says. And then it's gotta be like Epic Victory, or like Superman's in the game, or something dumb like that. And then you get views. But that's sort of why I sort of almost just stopped doing YouTube in general. And then I found something I really like to do, talk about with Overwatch League. And I sort of realized I'm like, it was in the summer, and I'm like, I don't want to stop doing Overwatch League videos. And then I started buying K-pop albums in about August last year. And I started reviewing them. And I'm like, I like doing this. So once you just find something you want to talk about, it worked. So I kept doing YouTube, and I'm glad that I did, obviously, because we got Bread Bowl, which is a fun series to do. I got a whole list of series ideas from episode 9 to episode number 16 when this season wraps up. And then, I don't know, take a break from Bread Bowl or continue. We'll see how I feel after episode number 16. But right now, I'm definitely looking at continuing a second season in March and April of Bread Bowl, because it's just fun. I liked doing weekend series, so that we had the weekend show back in like 2014 is sort of where I got the premise of this from. But I took it and made it actually good. That was me sitting down at the table, doing something dumb, and I didn't have a basis. And that's sort of where I took this and sort of changed it. I'm like, all right, these are the ideas. This episode is about this. Like our last episode. I sat down when I was writing on all the ideas. I'm like, all right, let's make a video where I talk about all the Overwatch pops that I have. All right, that's a video. And I came up with a list of topics back in December, and I changed a couple of them. There's been about 4 or 5 that have came in that weren't in there originally. Overwatch Legos, learning Korean, that's in there. There's a couple other ones that were in there that weren't the original topics. But, just keeping a list of, like, this is what I want to talk about. And I have about 4 other ones that aren't ideas for episodes yet that are potential future episodes. So I have a plan of sort of like, all right, this is what we're doing. My favorite thing about YouTube videos that I do is doing them in one take. That's the best thing. It's really fun. But back to the thing with like the ideas. Back in 2014, I didn't think to have an idea. I didn't think you had to have like a plan going in. I just thought, all right, I can go into this and be like, here we go. This is what it's about. But having an idea. I don't have to have anything else written down except for that title name. Like, all I needed was the thing to say future and almost ending YouTube. That's all I had written down for this episode. And I talked for almost 12 and a half minutes at this point. Like, having a plan. The only thing I don't have a plan for is the news. And typically on the Sunday episodes, there's not as much. As you guys seen, I probably should have broke down in the last episode the Red Sox Winter Weekend event and the name change into 2 separate episodes. But I didn't. So that's a mistake that I learned. I'll know next time to not force 2 news in there, and then in this episode have maybe like 40 seconds saying, well, today's topic is this. So that's something to learn. But again, almost ending YouTube back last year. I've always been saying for a couple years that 2020 is when I'll stop. I don't know. 2020, I feel like there's things will be interesting in 2020. There's definitely a lot of things that I want to do that year coming up. That's just the year that I've sort of been thinking of doing different things. I've talked about that till a meme a lot. I don't really want to like go into detail necessarily, because I don't really just want to talk about random things like that. When 2020 comes, we'll see. But it's been something that I've thought about for a couple years. 2020 sort of being an interesting year for things that I do. So I've always said 2020 I'll stop. But personally, I kind of want to go to 2022 at least with videos, because I want to say that I did YouTube for 10 years. I want to have that day when I look at a thing, we sit down March 28th, 2022, and say, I've done this for 10 years. So, we're 3.5 years, almost 4 years away from that. So, we'll see. But I want to keep going until 2022. I've said 2020 for a while, but 2022 is really like sticking out. It's like, I want to get to 10. I think it's so cool when people have done something for a whole decade. And to do something like this, to have a whole decade of my life recorded and things that I've done on the internet, is something that I've always thought about would be cool. So that's sort of why in 2018 I sort of said, I can't stop. We're getting close. We're like year 7 now. This is year 7, I think? Yeah. So we're almost to year 7. Let's keep it going. But it's, for me, off topic from necessarily ending YouTube, it's really weird to just like think that I've even spent 7 years making content, to look at everything that I've done. And the thing that's really weird is every video is a new installment of things that you've done, you know? I can look back at my first video. I had just a little stand, which I believe is actually this one over here, set up with my 3DS on it, saying, look, these are my Beyblades, in like 2012, on my bed, which I still don't make my bed like I did in that video. Had Jewel sitting on the bed, and like, oh, look, this is my cat. And then everything took off from there. A day later, I made another one. I kept going. I remember getting my first subscriber and how that was exciting. And, you know, just all that stuff, to just sit and see the changes in yourself and see the changes in your channel, and, you know, to have your friend be in a lot of the videos as well. It's really cool to see how your friend changes along the way with you. I know Liam and I, we go back, and he doesn't have any Instagram posts himself, but I have like 400 or something. I got rid of a bunch of like the random ones, but posts of us, we look back at like, you know, 2012, well, I started in 2013, so we look back at things 2013, 2014, and it's like, this is what we looked like then, 4 or 5 years ago. It's just kind of crazy. And then to also look at like the videos and see what's changed, besides like, obviously I moved in one of the first years of my time doing YouTube, but to look at things that changed from my first room doing YouTube to getting a second room in the other house that I lived, to moving here and having a room, and sort of seeing how that room changed, and I changed the layout and put different things in there, and then, you know, making videos in my room here, and sort of just seeing the change in videos that I've made. Like I said in the beginning of the video, Beyblade to cars to video games to Overwatch League and K-pop. Like, to see the change in myself personally. You know, I grew a beard on YouTube. I can look back at some of the videos in 2015. That's when I started growing my beard. I can look back at some of the videos and be like, damn, that was kind of wild. But, you know, just to see the change in things and my interest. And I think that it's interesting to do something when you're young like that, because when you're younger, you change your interests more. Where I feel like since, you know, 2017, you know, when I was 18 to now being almost 20, I feel like that's when you sort of like really think, all right, this is my interest. And that's really where I found what I was interested in. And being interested in Korea, I feel like other things have changed my interest in, but I don't really think that that's something that's going to just go away and change. I'm not saying I know that's something that's not just going to stop, and I'm not going to just wake up one day and be like, I'm not really interested. I mean, there's a lot of commitment to being interested in something so different that you have to, like, be like, oh, wow, there's a lot of things to know and stuff like that. Some days I may just be like, okay. But there's never a day that I'm like, I'm not interested. There's just a day that I may be like, I don't need to go on Twitter and, you know, see a million of the same posts of all the things that I follow. But there's never a day that I'm like, I'm not interested. It's just, sometimes I take a little bit of a step back and be like, cool, and then I'll like focus on something else. But there's never a day that I just like, don't have an interest. It's just, you know what I mean? I don't know if that really makes sense, but there'll be like 1 or 2 days that I'm just like, I look at everything that's K-pop and I'm like, cool. Like, I see this. And then I don't look at anything else. It's just that I'm seeing all this stuff. So, I don't know, it's sort of weird being into things like that, because I never really cared about, like, things that people were doing like that. You know, like, celebrities, stuff like that. So, it's sort of interesting to be, like, interested in that. But I never really just, like, stop being interested. So, I feel like that's not going to be something that's going to change. Me being interested, I feel like it's just, you know, something that will always happen from now on. So, that's that. So, you know, you see the difference from when you're little. Not even little, when you're younger. I wasn't like a little kid. I was just 13. But, you know, when you're 13, things you're interested in change, you know, compared to when you're 18, 19, 20. Like, I feel like, I don't know if that's for myself, but where I'm at, I feel like it's not going to change. Also, as I said, I feel older than I am. And that's like, that's not what I've ever said on video. I say it to Lamim lots of times. I don't feel like I'm almost 20. You know, I feel like I'm older than that. The things that I am interested in, things that I want to do, I feel like I'm just not like that. You know, see all the things people that are 20 what they do, and then compared to what I want to do, it's just, I don't know, it's different. I think where I'm at in my mind is different than a lot of people that are 19 or 20. So it's sort of just like, you know, committed to my interests and my passion of what I love to know about and be interested in. And I don't think something's going to change. I shouldn't say I don't think. I know it's not going to change. It's not going to just be, I'm not interested in Korea because that's something that's I've been interested in for like almost 2 years. Like, it was the summer of 2017 was really when I started getting into it. And then, you know, 2018 things really, really took off. And then it's just gotten more from there. So, you know, I don't think that it's going to be something that's going to just change. So, you know, I can see, like, countries and places I was interested in when I was younger. Like, years ago, I was interested in Britain a lot. I'm not going to say I'm not interested in it at all, because I still think it's an interesting country and a place I want to go. But I'm not, like, I want to move there. The only place besides Korea that I'd still say from a couple years ago I was interested would be Los Angeles. Because I still think Los Angeles is cool. It's just not my number one choice. Seoul is my number one choice. I mean, not even just Seoul. Like, Korea in general. I don't really care. Just Seoul is the majority of the likely place that I'd live in Korea. We'll say that. I'm not going to say that I wouldn't live somewhere else, but it's highly likely that it would be Seoul of any place. But yeah, that's the thing. So, you know, the reason that, what made me think that is I have something over here that says British Isles on it, and, you know, I had a book over here that was stuff about Britain, and I got a British flag there, and British flag pillow. Like, there's something that's just an interest to me that's just not the same as it used to be. Everything before was, it's got to be British, where now it's everything's got to be Korean. And I feel like the difference was that was me in, like, 2013. And it changed, and I was just like, oh, I'm into it, because I like this one show from Britain, where Korea, it sort of is different, where I got into it from playing a character, and then playing video game characters, why I got into it, I'm not going to deny that. I'm not going to be a meme and say, oh, that's not why, because I'll own that, I don't really care. I got into Korea from playing Diva, and thought it was cool, and everything's going to happen from that one little time that I picked playing Diva, started playing her, and then I'm like, oh, as a meme, I'll learn the language, and then did that, and that's what I got interested in more things, and then I listened to K-pop, and then I, you know, learned more things, and then the Olympics happened, and that was in Korea, so that was like 2 weeks of everything Korean, and then Overwatch League, you know, Seoul Dynasty, and liking all the Korean players and all that stuff, you know, liking the all-Korean teams, Seoul Dynasty, New York Excelsior, London Spitfire, and season number 2, we got Vancouver Titans thrown in there as well. You know, the all-Korean rosters are just ones that I like to watch, and then things going from there. Talking to people from Korea, that's something that I do. I message people from Korea through messaging on my iPad, my phone, and email. Having communication. And then, you know, buying all the K-pop things, and started watching K-dramas on Netflix a couple weeks ago. Like, there's just more and more things that happen. You know, learning about the country, learning the culture is just more involved than anything that I did before. You know, I can show you all the books that I currently have. Korean books. I know this isn't really the topic of today's video, but these are all books that I've gotten the past week. We got this one. These are flashcards to learn. This is a book. This is another book. Here's another book. And then we also have a cookbook, another book, another book, and another book. So I got like 1 million books. And those are all just like learn about the things. And then if you guys see everything I follow on Twitter and Instagram, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. The thing of, you know, interests and what you're into and how stuff sort of changes. And yeah, so that has to do with YouTube, I guess. I don't know. We'll see what I'm going to title this video now that I've talked about that for ever. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you guys in the next one.